Position, Drake Powell, Michael Davis, Isaiah Moran breaks into the top 5.
Well, we get those high horsepower hot rods coming up next.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
With our hot lap qualifying.
All right, looks like we got the instructions on what we're doing here. And I believe they're going to send those cars next.
Also live on YouTube and Facebook through Factory Stock Hot Laps.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll be glad to bring those viewers on as they get a live look in at what's going on here at the House of Hook, Whynot, Mississippi.
We need those super late models, the Coors Light super late model cars. Group A, Group B. The staging. First one coming out should be the F1 car. Getting him lined up. You see the shot down on pit road. Peyton Freeman sits ready to go out of Commerce, Georgia. The Hammer, Dean Carpenter. He'll be in the 51 B car. All right, he's out of Coldwater, Mississippi. Rocket XR1. And I see Charles Thrash on pit road telling him to come on out. This will be hot lap qualifying. There's Peyton Freeman, Commerce, Georgia driver. As he gets ready to pull the trigger in the Hammer, Dean Carpenter out of Coldwater, Mississippi in the 51B car. Here they come. They'll get the green, white checkered. There's the green. Freeman on the clock. White flag in the air this time by for the Commerce, Georgia driver Peyton Freeman. 13,259. Here comes the Hammer. 13,931. Checkered flag out this time. Let's see if Freeman picks it up. And he does. 13,204. Carpenter goes a 13,735. He picked his up a little bit as well. Scheduled to roll out next will be the 97 car out of Robeline, Louisiana. That's going to be the Thriller, Cade Dillard. He's scheduled to roll next. Followed by Jason Milam out of Guntown, Mississippi, the 82B car. There comes Dillard in the 97. Regular on the World of Outlaws tour. He'll be doing double duty tonight in the modifieds and these super late models as well. Dillard on the top of your screen, Milam on the bottom. Here they come. The Thriller hammering around the top of the racetrack to see what kind of digits he'll put on the scoreboard as he comes to the white flag. Top of the board, 13,032. Milam, 13,462. He'll be third quick so far, but here comes Dillard to the checkered. 13,112, I believe. 13,352 for Milam. Coming up next, he comes to us out of Longview, Texas. It'll be the M14 car of Mobags, Morgan Bagley. Rocket XR1 car. Drake Troutman in the 58 car comes to us from Hindman, Pennsylvania. Mobags, Morgan Bagley, and Drake Troutman. Your two cars on the speedway right now for their qualifying. Trying to take that number one spot from Dillard. Let's see what Bagley puts up. 13,666. Troutman second quick, 13,150. They will remain second and fourth. Coming up next, out of Columbus, Mississippi, the 21 XXX car, the XR1 Rocket, Neil Baggett. Here he comes. Joseph Joyner In the 10 car out of Milton, Florida, the Capital Race Car. Let's see if they're going to. We're just going to send Baggett. So Neil Baggett on the clock in the 21 XXX car, the XR1 Rocket car. J. Dickens Power under the hood of that car. Advanced Logistics. Goat Farm Posse sponsored car. Field quick, 13,479 for Baggett. Hammering around the top of the racetrack, the checkered flag waves in the air. Moves up a spot to fourth with a 13,326. There comes the 10 car, Milton, Florida's Joseph Joyner, the Capital Race car. It should be the 51 car of Brandon Carpenter, also out of Coldwater, Mississippi. Capital Race car, Joyner, Rocket XR1 car of Carpenter. Joseph Joyner had a podium finish last night in B Feature 2. 6 quick with a 13,428. And Carpenter almost loses it down in turn number 4. He'll go to the infield. Joyner does not pick up any more spots. He'll remain 6th with that 13,428. And the replay there, watch at home as Carpenter gets a little bit loose up in turn 4. Gathers her up. As our next qualifier comes to us out of Carpentersville, Illinois. That'll be the Rocket XR1 car. Clements Power on the hood of the 28 car of Dennis Erb Jr. Austin Smith out of Cedartown, Georgia, the 11S car. Your next two qualifiers. Erb at the top of your screen, Smith at the bottom. Dennis Erb, a 2-time Fall Classic winner. Top of the board for Dennis Erb. He's in the 12-second club, 12.94. Smith is 5th quick with a 13.285. Let's see if Erb picks it up any of that time by. Does not. He'll remain at the top of the board, though, with that 12.940. Carpentersville, Illinois driver Dennis Erb goes to the top of the board. Your next qualifier, the 73 car, that's going to be Evan Ellis out of Plantersville, Mississippi. Another Rocket XR1 car. And Oakley Johns out of Whynot, Tennessee, the C6 car. It's a Longhorn car. Zippy Auto Sales. Oh, Johns in the concrete down in turn number 1. Has to gather his machine back up. Ellis crosses the stripe. 9th quick, 13.512. Oakley Johns makes some improvement up to 6th, 13.282 for the Whynot, Tennessee driver. Coming up next should be the 57, Zach Mitchell. He's out of Enoria, South Carolina. And the 25 car, the Georgia Bulldog himself, Shane Clanton out of Zebulon, Georgia. Fall Classic winner as well here, Shane Clanton. Here comes the Coltman Farms, number 57 car. He was quick here last night. Zach Mitchell. Clanton on the clock as well. Time to beat right now, 12.940 by Dennis Erb Jr. Seventh quick for Mitchell. Clanton moves to the 5th spot, 13.185. He'll move up a spot, Clanton, with a 13.117, so he'll be 4th quick. Still atop the board, Dennis Erb Jr. Here comes the 81 car. That's going to be Jack Riggs. He's out of Nolensville, Tennessee. And the 212 car, Florence, Alabama's Josh Putnam. Putnam and Riggs on the speedway. Alabama, Tennessee drivers on the track. second quick for Riggs. He's in the 12-second clutch, 12.983. Putnam will be 8th quick with a 13.217. Let's see if Riggs can get that number 1 spot. Does not do it that time at a 13.105. Josh Putnam moves up to the 5th spot with a 13.096. Your next qualifier comes to us from Thompson, Georgia, the 97 car. That's going to be Cody Overton. Hunter Lewis in the 7 car out of Hurley, Mississippi. Overton and Lewis, the Molly-sponsored Longhorn car. LKQ. A little sexy. Cody Overton. Overton, 11. $13,354 that time for Overton. Your next 2 heads our way. It's going to be Shreveport, Louisiana's Clayton Stuckey in the 15 car, the Lucas Oil sponsored car, and the 81 car should be of Jaden Frame. Jaden Frame out of Winchester, Tennessee. Stuckey out of Shreveport, Louisiana. There goes Stuckey down the back straightaway in that 15 car. Jaden Frame off a 2 down that way himself. White flag in the air. $17 quick for Stuckey. 13.331. Let's see if he picks it up. Jaden Frame goes 5th quick with a 13.054. So, Dennis Erb Jr. still atop the board in Group A. And the future, Trey Mills, St. Augustine, Florida driver, the 16-year-old. The Black Diamond race car with Clements Power. He'll have Chad Thrash chasing him around the speedway out of Meridian, Mississippi. That's a Rocket XR1 car. Jay Dickens Power under the hood of the 1C car. Mills at the top of the screen here. St. Augustine, Georgia, Florida driver. Well, quick for Trey Mills. Mills remain in the 12th spot there. Our next qualifier comes to the speedway. The Reaper, Ryan Guston out of Marshalltown, Iowa, the 19R car, and Ethan Dotson out of Bakersfield, California, the 74X car. Dotson, last night's A feature winner here. Coming off a $20,000 to win at Magnolia Motor Speedway a couple of weeks ago. $3,000 last night. Who will get the 20 grand tonight? The Reaper down the backside, up at the top of your screen. Dotson. Justin 10th quick, 13.231. And that will conclude hot lap qualifying for Group A of the Coors Light Super Late Models here tonight. Dennis Erb Jr. held on to the top of the board there in qualifying. One more group to go. We've got 25 more to go. 50 cars have signed in here tonight. What was it? 12. 4. Race fans are looking On your screen there, Hunt the Front, that's your fast qualifier. Group A, Dennis Erb Jr. holds the fast time, 12:940. And they'll get all Group A cars back to the pit area. So we got coming up next, Chris. That's MD Metals, Crate Lake Model, or Enduros. The Enduro cars, you should be in staging. Enduro cars, you should be in staging. $12,940, Group A. Fastest lap goes to the Carpentersville, Illinois driver, Dennis Erb Jr. in a rocket chassis. Clements power plant on the hood of it. As we get ready for Group B, should be headed our way here momentarily. Should be the first car on the speedway will be Colton Leyendecker. He comes to us from Holt, Florida. He'll be in the 33 car. Big Boss Ross Campanova out of Marigold, Mississippi in the 18 car. That should be your first two qualifiers headed our way. Leyendecker and Campanova. Looking down on pit roads. Cars should be in staging. Here comes Leyendecker, the 33 car. And Big Boss Ross Campanova, the 18. That'll be your first two qualifiers on the speedway. See who'll set fast time in Group B. Leyendecker winding it up off of turn number 4. Coming to the green flag. Here comes Campanova. Campanova Farms car down the back chute. Let's see what lap 1 goes to Leyendecker. 13,569. Campanova 13,628. See if Leyendecker picks it up this time around. Here he comes. 13,354, and Campanova crosses. 13,768. Not advance. Your next two qualifiers, Rick Rickman in the 86 cars out of Columbus, Mississippi, the Advanced Logistics XR1, and Tyler Dietz, he's out of Saxonburg, Pennsylvania, the 00 car. The Ravishing One, Rick Rickman at the top of your screen there if you're watching on Hunt the Front TV. Tyler Dietz. But he did not make the call, so that's going to be the Raging Rebel David Brazil out on the speedway, and another XR1 rocket. J. Dickens powered the Raging Rebel out of Four Corners, Mississippi. Leyendecker, 13,354. Brazil holds on to that number 1 spot with that 13,296. So the Raging Rebel atop the board out of 4 there in that rocket XR1 car. J. Dickens power on the hood as your next car comes to the speedway. It'll be Loudon, Tennessee's Corey Hedgecock. And Keith Hammett, Brooklyn, Arkansas driver, the 29 car. Hedgecock under the green flag. Eagle Race Engine, BMF chassis. Keith Hammond out of Brooklyn, Arkansas, the 29. He'll be at the bottom of the screen. Top of the board for Hedgecock, 13,050. Hammett, Phil Quick, 13,460. Hedgecock crosses. He'll hold on to that number 1 spot right now with 13,050. And Hammond will be Phil Quick with a 13,460. Your next qualifier will be the 232 car out of Cuba, Alabama, of Jamie Bowen and Cameron Weaver, the Crossville, Tennessee driver, the 116 car, Longhorn car with Jack Cornett power on the hood. There goes Bowen. Here comes Weaver. Bowen at the top of your screen, the Track Star 232 car, the Longhorn 116 car of Weaver L&D Trucking, Henderson Motorsports Park. Bowling 7th quick, 13.684. Here comes Weaver. He'll go to the 5th spot with a 13.436. Seventh for Bowling. Weaver moves up to 4th with a 13.333. Jackson Heiss, the Ocala, Florida driver. 388 car, and Brian Rickman out of Columbus in the 90 car. Jackson Heiss, Brian Rickman on your screen there. Ocala, Florida, Columbus, Mississippi driver. Sixth quick for Jackson Heiss, 13.452. Brian Rickman, he'll be 9th quick with a 13.614. See if they pick it up this time by 13.395. He'll remain 6th. And Rickman moves up the board to 4th quick, 13.325. Coming up next will be the 57T car, Cleveland, Ohio's Matt Tiff, and the 88 car, Jeremy Broaddus out of Biloxi, Mississippi. The Dunk-sponsored car out of Cleveland, Ohio. And Mississippi Gulf Coast driver Jeremy Broaddus in the 88 car. Let's see the numbers on the board. $14,092 for Broaddus. Let's see. 13,393. That's Tiff. He'll be 7th quick. Coming up next out of Winfield, Tennessee, it'll be the 157 driver of Mikey Marler. There he comes. And the 14 car following, that'll be Blaze Burwell. He's out of Mount Vernon, Illinois. Excuse me, that'll be Hayden Cowan. Hayden Cowan out of Rincon, Georgia in the 14 car. Mikey Marler scraping the wall down the front side. Hayden Cowan. Marler at the top of your screen. Let's see what kind of digits he puts on the scoreboard. 7th quick, 13,375. Cowan goes to 4th, 13,318. Here comes Marler to the checkered flag, this time by 3rd quick, 13,310. Cowan to the 2nd spot, 13,141. Here comes the 44 car. That's going to be Blaze Burwell out of Mount Vernon, Illinois. And the 76 car, Big Sexy himself, Brandon Overton out of Evans, Georgia. Brandon Overton, Blaze Burwell. White flag being displayed to the Mount Vernon, Illinois driver. 13,656. 13,704 for Overton. $13,761 for Burwell's second lap. 13,385. That'll move Overton to the 9th quickest spot. Coming up next out of Hampton, Georgia, will be the 12 car of Air Force Ashton Winger. And the 02 car, Stephen Brantley out of Monroeville, Alabama, if he's able to make it. What's that, 13,050? Huh? Tyler Erb making it. Stephen Brantley was not. He had in a crash last night, and I didn't figure he'd make it back. So, Uncle T, Tyler Erb, the best motorsports first class septic. Third quick for Winger, 13.285. And Uncle T goes 13.309 in the rocket car. It'll be fifth quick. So scheduled to roll will be the Bo Slay in the 2 car out of Milton, Florida. The B1 car, Brent Larson out of Lake Elmo, Minnesota. Larson at the top, Slay at the bottom of the screen there. 14th quick for Larson. 13th quick for Slade. Larson goes 5th quick, 13.309. Slade will be 16th quick. His lap. Coming up next, race fans, I know you know who this is. He'll be in the 19M car out of Causeyville, Mississippi. It'll be Mr. Excitement himself, Spencer Hughes in the 19. And the 31 car, that's going to be Mark Dotson. He's out of Caledonia, Mississippi. Spencer Hughes heads to the green flag. Clyburn Tank Lines. Yellowhammer Construction sponsored car. And there's Mark Dotson. Spencer Hughes flying around Whynot Motorsports Park to the white flag. He comes. $13.705 for Hughes. And a 14.024 for Mark Dotson. One more car left in Group B. Going to be Blackshear, Georgia's 51 car, Chad Tootin. There he comes. One to go, and then Enduro's Chris coming up next. So, down the backside, the 51 car goes. Hedgecock right now, top of the board, 13.050. $14.092 for Tootin. 23rd quick. 14.062. 13.050, your quickest time in Group B. That goes to Loudon, Tennessee's Corey Hedgecock.
That's right.
Overall, quick time was the 12.940 by Carpentersville, Illinois, Dennis Erb Jr. That's unofficial. He'll get the $200 J. Dickens Fast Time Award. Overall fast time.
Already making money.
Already made $200.
That's right. Enduro cars. Hopefully you guys are ready to go for your hot lap session. I need Sportsman Lake models. Need y'all in staging lanes ready to go. Factory stock cars, y'all roll in behind there as well. Well, there's Winger. Winger's pulled up.
Oakley Johns, Winger.
And Dennis Erb.
Dennis Erb Jr. These are your fastest qualifiers. Like Herb is your fast qualifier. Charles Thrash down there, I believe he's given those checks out. Oakley Johns, Ashton Winger, and Dennis Erb Jr. Don't forget, Chris, you're live with YouTube,
That's right.
on the front TV,
All over
and
the
Facebook
internet right now. My goodness
till
gracious.
after factory stock hot laps.
That's right. So let's get the Enduro cars out here. We got 14 of them here tonight, so I think we'll probably do one group and then the second group. Sportsman late model cars, we need you lined up for your hot laps along with the factory stocks. Shouldn't take too much longer, and we'll be into B-main racing here this evening.
Like they're doing a little agricultural work out on the track down in 3 and 4.
Yeah, they're getting that dirt off the wall there. They dirtied the wall up a little bit. So.
They better get that plow out there. Trying to knock some of that berm down, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, the track acting a little bit different here tonight than it did last night. I believe we got the right crew on it to get it where it needs to be. All right, looks like we're ready to go. One of these Enduro cars. Jason Swanner in the 25 is Stephen Griffith. As Jeff Swanner, I should say, 25S. John Landry in the 1212C. Stephen Griffith there in the 12-pack. Then Eric Bolton in the 7E. Eric Bolton comes to us out of Midville, Mississippi. Jason and Jeff Swanner both out of Meridian, Mississippi. Stephen Griffith out of Meridian, Mississippi as well. John Landry out of Social, Mississippi. So here we go. Hot lap session underway for the Enduro cars. Guys, make sure you grab those event T-shirts. They're still for sale. Supplies are getting low. Go hang out over in Vendors Row for a second as we get ready for it. Well, actually, we'll come up on our Coors Light Super Late Model Heat Races directly after the prayer and national anthem. So, everything looks good to go. That is Jason Swanner in the first red car. See if there's any difference. Those cars look almost identical to each other. Jeff Swanner in the second 25. Just a tad bit difference on that front visor there. It looks like Jeff Swanner has a little bit of writing on that one. 12-pack. Had him a couple wins this year. So Jeff Swanner is down to 17.839. Jason Swanner 18.124. And Stephen Griffith at 18.276. Checkered flag is out. Them fried Oreos is going fast, too. Go down there and check it out at Vendors Road. He said they were mighty good. Also, go check out Mr. Corey downstairs. He's got the Magnolia Beverage tent open. Be glad to hook you up with an adult beverage. Yeah, good deal. Blaze Anthony's in that blue number 10 machine. That's Chase Parker at the very front of the line in the 41. The 05 is Mason Bland out of Seminary, Mississippi. Dustin Davis in the 2D. That's Miss Becky Williams in the 11-7. And we are underway. 57 is Joseph Patella out of Berry, Mississippi. Joseph Patella goes up to fourth on the speed charts. And the checkered is out. Jeff Swanner still leads the pack, 17.749. Jason Swanner, a 17.841. Then it's a 12-pack, 18.129. Joseph Patella, 18.859. Chase Parker breaks into the top five at 18.931. Getting ready for the last bit of cars to come out onto the racetrack here. The Enduro cars, and then we'll have the Sportsman Late Model cars. Sportsman Late Models, make sure y'all are ready to go in staging lanes for your hot laps. David Massey in the 32. David Todd in that one machine. The 93X is Tony Cantillo out of Polina, Louisiana. Massey's had a fast hot rod this year. We haven't seen David Todd in this class since last year. I'm sure it may be the same car he raced last year. It was a pretty fast car, so keep our eye on these two drivers. And the Crown Vic 93X, I think he may be slow rolling it right now. David Massey finds the fourth position. David Todd in ninth. Uh-oh. Somebody redlining. And the checker. We'll see these guys again in their heat race later in the evening. We'll send those guys back to the pit side and bring out our Sportsman Late Model cars. Here's that young man, 13-year-old Easton Bollinger. Jeff Holloway. In the 11 is D.G. Hawkins. In the 96, glad to see he's got those repairs made back out here. Tyler Merchant in the 9M. The 87 of Andy Pippin, Bobby Lincoln, the 24, and Devin Watley in the C4. Here we go. Green is out. Factory stock cars. Factory stock cars, you need to be lined up in staging lanes, ready to go, guys. Let's go. White flag. This will be over pretty quick here. Easton Bollinger sits at the top of the board. Now Andy Pippin takes the top. 14.016. Best looking time so far. Easton Bollinger, a 14.541 that time by. He'll hang on to that second spot as they get woed up at the check flag. Going out the next group. Jarrett Jones in the 17. Bailey Callahan, Ware, Mississippi. Werewolf in the 20. Brett White in the 54. He's the defending champion here in the Fall Classic. The 9 machine, Ellie Mae Hughes. Callahan. And Josh Mosley, driver out of Gilbertown, Alabama, in the 1J. All? Well, the 96 D.G. Hawkins didn't push it off the racetrack. And it looks like we should be mean and green. There we go. Flagman is pointing at Randy Boyd in that 111. Here we go. Grayson Williams in the W2. Josh Parkerson in the 127. Andy Pippin with the time to beat a 14.016. Jarrett Jones. Now it's Bailey Callahan at the top of the board. Brett White moves into the third spot. And that'll do it. Bailey Callahan takes to the top of the board, a 13.885. In the number 20 machine, Andy Pippin. The 87 Barrett Logan machine, 14.016. Brett White having the 54 ride, 14.056. Jarrett Jones and Randy Boyd. Rolling out the next group of cars. At Kobe Ponds in the 51 XXX, Hunter McIntyre in the 05, Zach Owens in the 8Z, TJ McKinnis in the 36, Fox McLeod in the M4, Junior Pierce in the 77, and the 14 of Austin Hawley on the racetrack. Chase Pennington able to break into the top 5 with 14.405. out the next group. Factory stocks. The Hammer and Matt Haney. First one out the door. It's Wild Thing. Blaze Chatham in the 14B. J.C. Pearson in the X Machine. And David James in the 111. Dustin Rowell in that 37, I believe. Here we go. Up next, our Prayer National Anthem, and then we'll be into the Coors Light Super Late Model Heat Races. Moving right along, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to us on the Facebook Live and the YouTube Live. Make sure you mark your calendars, be out here for this big event every year. We'll see y'all out here next year. Oh, Blaze Chatham's going to whip it around up in turn number 2. He gathers it back. Yeah, he'll head in the right direction. Dustin Powell must have found the loose stuff. He spins out in about the same spot. Here's the checker flag. Not much to give in hot laps. Blaze Chatham a 16.90. He does have that one to hold on to. Send out the next group. There's Freaky Fast, the Columbus, Mississippi driver, number 14, Aiden Fletcher. Tony Cantrell in the triple nickel. It is Billy Walker in the Billy Built number 41 machine. Wick Crawford in the Jones Motorsports 12J. There's James Bradshaw in that Charles Burke throwback 711. And the 11M, Dalton Morrison. Matt Joseph in the 89. J of Clint Crawford. Gets it into the back stretch. There's James Bradshaw in the 711. Aiden Fletcher. Freaky Fast, 16.58, 16.658 for the 14 machine. 89 of Joseph. There's in the second position now. Billy Walker moves up to that second spot at 16.907. Push Joseph back to the third spot. Now Joseph takes over back to the top, to the second position. 16.868. Billy Walker back to third. Blaze Chatham, David James rounds out your top 5. There's Doug Todd. Out of Toon Super, Mississippi, Josh Holbrook. In the 7, Bill Johnston in the B3. Josh Lassiter in the 85 DL. Corey Dillard in the D3. It's Nathan Rayner in the 1 and Bryce Mosley in the 4 car. There's Holbrook on the screen. We'll follow him as he heads into the backstretch. There's Bill Johnston in the B3. Now that is a classic factory stop Pure Street car right there. 85 goes around. That is Josh Lassiter. Corey Dillard in the D3. A little bit of blue smoke coming out of the rear of that race car. We'll have to keep our eye on that. It is pushing like a dump truck too, man. One machine and Nathan Rayner. I like that Bryce Mosley machine. That 4 car, that blue and yellow really pops on that 4. I like the stylization of that number as well. Love to see creativity in these race cars. Josh Holbrook was able to capture that second position in the 7 car. Austin Rogers in the 1R. There's Corey Gann, the 2022 Fall Classic Factory Stock winner. Blake Steele picking off a big win at the Southern Street Stock Nationals. Driver out of Tennessee. It's Chandler May in the 9. Guntown, Mississippi. It's Nathan Page in the 16. 33 of Rod Biffany and John Adamson in the A7. Got to get them spread out just a little bit. I believe they were checking for some debris on the racetrack. Waiting on the go signal. And the green light is on. Biffany. Going to take it out of turn 4. Let's see the Corey Gann machine on the screen there in the G1. White flag. Corey Gann works up the board. He's to the 3rd position. A 16.842. Can he get a little bit more out of it this lap? And Austin Rogers puts it at the top. A 16.651. Rod Biffany sits in the 4th position. He's got him a fast hot rod. That'll put Corey Gann in the 5th position. There's a few more factory stock cars to roll out onto the speedway. Here's the 16 of Cade Dean. Preston Johnson in the 68. Scooter Ware in the 53 out of West Point, Mississippi. There's Kane Butler in the 2X and Dylan Wilson in the 9.5. Green flag on the speedway. Uh-oh, the 95 spins it around. Almost. 16 to Dean. Ordered a catastrophe there with the 95 spinning out in front of him. Dylan Wilson. Looks like all 4 tires got plenty of air in them, so he'll be all right. We'll turn back to the speedway, and we'll turn the green light on. Here we go. Keep right at the top of the leader chart. So far, no change. Austin Rogers, 16.651. And Preston Johnson breaks into the 5th position. You'll find him on the leaderboard in that 5 spot. Jody Guest and the 53. Terry Taylor in the 3 machine. Macy Renee in the 23M. Brandon Lezert in the double nickel. And Larry McCraney in the 376. I think that'll do it. So Austin Rogers leads hot lap 16.651. It's Fletcher, Hallbrook, Biffany, and Johnson in your top 5. We'll see these guys again in the B mains as we get moving right along to our prayer national anthem. And then up next, it's the Coors Light Super Late Model Heat Races.
All right, coming up right after our opening ceremonies here will be the Super Late Model Heat Qualifiers. Super Late Model B mains. No, the heats are coming up first. Heat races, we've got 6 of those. So drivers, you need to be in staging, ready to go. So race fans, as we do each and every time here, we ask you right now if you would to please rise and remove your hats for our opening ceremonies. Let's bow our heads. Our gracious Heavenly Father in heaven, as we come to you tonight, we just want to give you the praise and glory for the blessings that you've given us. Lord, we thank you for all the fans that you've sent our way tonight, all the drivers and pit crews that are in the pits. We ask that you put your hand upon them and lead them safely back to their destinations. And let these drivers drive a safe and sportsmanlike race. God, we just cannot give you enough praise for what you do for us. I know times are hard, but we thank you once again for being our Savior. We ask that you'll watch over each and every one of us, be with our military, our government, and let them do the right things. But most of all, Lord, why we're here tonight is because of your Son,